everyone, this is Farah from Malaysia. It's almost sundown, I'm waiting for berbuka time, and today I'd just like to do a bit of short sharing of how we fasted throughout Ramadan in the UK and also how we celebrated Eid month back in the UK. We usually would wake up really early, probably around 3:30 in the morning if I'm not mistaken, just to do our sahur, and then we would break our fast berbuka time. Usually it's around 9:30 p.m. So you're probably wondering, how did we do fasting for 18 to 19 hours a day? To be completely honest with you, it wasn't really that bad, and I personally think it had something to do with the weather. That could be just me, I'm not so sure about anyone else. You know how you're in Malaysia and Singapore, for example, or any Southeast Asian countries, it's really hot, it's warm, it's humid, you're sweating buckets every day, and you're fasting, you're doing work throughout the day as well. So in the UK, as you know, it's really cold, it's breezy, and I don't sweat. I don't feel that thirsty as I would in Malaysia. And doing those long hours, like, you don't really feel it, to be honest. You're so busy being a student in the UK, like going to classes during the daytime, and then by the time you come back home, it's already like probably late in the evening. After you're doing your homework, probably you stay back a bit in the library, probably you do a bit of lab work or something like that, and by the time it reaches to 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m., it's already fasting, like break fasting, like berbuka time. So it wasn't really that bad. So my Muslim friends, you'd probably be wondering how easy or how hard is it to actually find halal meat back in the UK. So where we were at, we are actually situated in York, which is a really small town, small city. It's, of course, it's not going to be as big as how London or Manchester or even Sheffield or Leeds would be. Those kind of places, like bigger cities, there's a lot more Muslims, so you would find like halal streets all over. But in York, there's this one quaint little shop that we love so much. That's where we usually get our source of halal meat. It's called Fresh Ways, and it is really walkable. It's so near to the university, and where I was living at least, I was in the middle between town and also the university, and I still walk to Fresh Ways because it's that near. Of course, one thing I should mention is that beef is kind of, I wouldn't say it's scarce, but it's easier and more cheaper to get lamb. For me personally, the best thing is that when you're a Muslim living abroad, it's not just being with Malays, like Malaysian Malays. You celebrate it together with your Indonesian friends, with your Singaporean friends, and even with your Middle Eastern friends that you've met in the UK, that you make friends with them. And it's such a nice feeling, to be honest. It's not something that you can actually get in Malaysia. So at that time, obviously, we were old enough to do things on our own, and that was the first time that we actually celebrated Eid without our own families, without our moms, without our dads, without our siblings. And it's, of course, it's really sad, but at the same time, it really teaches you that experience. It helps you to be independent. It helps you to, like, it's really fun, like, especially when you're staying with friends. And the night before, usually that's when people are busy. Like, you make your rendang, you make your ketupat, you make your lemang, your nasi impit, and all sorts of things. And this time around, this is like your only 3 years that you get in life that you can do things with your friends. It's bittersweet, of course, but at the same time, it really makes you appreciate the little things. So when you go back home, you actually realize how much you miss doing those things with your family. And of course, down to the last part is how is Eid overall when you're abroad. It's a really nice experience, that's all I can say, because you're doing it with your friends, you're doing it with your peers, the people that you see for the entire 3 years, and you don't have your family there with you. I mean, some of you might be lucky enough to get your parents to come over, and then you can celebrate together with your friends where you're studying. But for us back then, what we remember is that some of us actually stayed back. We didn't go back home, we didn't go back to Malaysia, or to where we are, like other countries. And we really made do of our time in the UK. So we celebrated together, and it was of course it was fun. Like, you're with your friends and you're having a good time. Like, in the morning, usually you'll be like a tear fest, honestly. So you do your video calls with your parents, your families, and then a bit later towards the afternoon or the evening, that's where we would do our open houses. That's where we would have people over, or we would go over to people's houses, bring our food, share together with them. And I remember back in York, we actually I'm not sure if we rented out, we sort of booked one of the common areas, like the spaces, and we made it into like a mini gathering. We did something like a potluck. So there was kids around, there was like people's spouses, there was a lot of Malaysians. That's one of the days that you really, like, you truly see all the Malaysians that are living near you, but you never realized they were there all along. If I could give a piece of advice to all of you out there who are still considering whether you should go to study abroad, regardless whether it's the UK, whether it's like the US, Canada, anywhere that is not your home country, please by all means do it. And that's it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that it helps you in your decision making, and it helps you to give a bit of overview of how we celebrated Ramadan and also Eid back in the UK. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment down below what you think about this episode or what you want to hear from us in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you again next time.